more.
So Phil, last time we told our audience about how property taxes work in Oregon. This time I thought we'd talk a little bit more about what are the implications of the system that got put in place with Measure 50 and how that shows up in some of the various different neighborhoods across Portland.
Well, it's interesting. I think this is an unintended consequence, and I think it will become more of a political and social issue in the not too distant future. In 1995, or since 1995, various neighborhoods in Portland, as you know,
Right.
have appreciated quite differently.
Oh, they haven't all gone up at the same rate?
Take, for instance, North Portland. Okay, 97211, 97217 zip codes. St. John's, Arbor Lodge, Overlook.
Yep.
Those areas have gone up 400% since 1995. They're about 5 times now what they were then. Okay.
And the market's, just for perspective, the market's gone out how much?
About 3 times.
About 3 times. So it's
Okay.
30% higher than the market.
Quite a bit higher.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the assessed values in 23 years, going up at 3% a year, have gone up less than twice. So in some,
That's good.
Well, so their assessed values have gone up twice, what they were, but the market values have gone up 5 times. Okay. Likewise, Northeast Portland, Irvington, Alameda, those areas.
Oh, where all the wealthy people live.
Well, they've gone up about. They've gone up about 3 times what they were then. Okay. Contrast that with, say, Outer East Portland, that is maybe now 1.5 times what it was then. Okay.
Oh, wait a second. Let me just track this. So, property taxes in Far East Portland have gone up.
Property values.
Property values.
So, if you have areas that have had property values go up a lot, their taxes are going to go up the same amount. If you have property areas that are gone up just a little, their taxes are still going to go up the same amount.
Okay, I got it. I was in the slow group. So basically, everybody's taxes went up at the same rate. It's just the relationship between how much taxes have gone up and what your home is. So you want to be, ideally, in the area where the property values have gone up the most.
Yeah,
right?
Because I mean, so here's
your taxes that haven't gone up at the same rate, right?
So here's some quick and dirty numbers. Okay, take a $450,000 house, roughly.
That's about the median.
Right, roughly a typical average home in the Portland area, right?
Yeah.
A $450,000 home, on average in North Portland, is going to have property taxes about $4,500 a year. Okay,
Seems right. Yeah.
All right. Outer East Portland is going to be about $8,500 a year on a $450,000 home. In Northeast Portland, about $5,500. Southeast Portland, about $5,900. West Portland would be about $7,700. This is a $450,000 home. Is taxed differently depending where in the city it is. Same tax rate, roughly 2.5%. But because it's based on the lower of the maximum assessed value or the market value, the maximum assessed value is going to be about the same across the board, whereas the real market value is going to be significantly different. Or put a different way, the homes with the same market value are going to have vastly different maximum assessed values.
So let me see if I get this. The $450,000 house today across the market in North Portland was a $100,000 house in 1995, but it was a $200,000 house in West Portland that's now the $450,000. So the taxes are based upon where they were in 1995. So the North Portland house tax rate has grown from a base of $100,000 assessed value, whereas the West Portland house has grown from a $200,000 base in 1995, which is why the West Portland home has such a higher tax base. Is that right? Got it. Okay. So there's no other difference. It's not like the people that are in Northeast Portland are getting more services or less services.
No.
They're just getting subsidized by those fat cats in Far East.
That's right.
Far East Portland,
that's right. The West Side and the Far East Side are paying higher proportionate taxes on their $450,000 homes than the people in North Portland, close in Northeast, and close in Southeast.
Right. I guess really the only issue is one of fairness. It's not really anything else, right? In terms of
it is an issue of fairness, and unless you want to, start an initiative to revise the property tax system.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, well, that is quite a daunting task. You probably want to say how, take action, govern yourself accordingly. One of the things that can make a big difference is in rental properties.
That's right. So, unless you're going to sell your house and move to the area that has cheaper property taxes, it's probably not an action that anybody's going to take. But when you are looking at an investment property, you might want to look at the relationship between property taxes and rental income, right?
Exactly. Typically, most properties are going to have property taxes that are going to be between 10 and 20% of their gross rents.
Right.
Well, they're locked in. They're going to go up more or less 3% a year, year in, year out. It's a whole lot better to go up 3% on a lower number than a bigger number, because the bigger number will never come down. Okay? And typically, when you're looking particularly at smaller properties are not priced with this in mind.
No, they're not. I think it's one of those things that's often overlooked, isn't it? Right?
I think in our experience, when we deal with buyers and sellers, it is often overlooked until we point it out.
Which is why we have a list of properties that are on the market that would be suitable for investors that show the relationship between property taxes and market value. And the assumption is that there's a pretty strong correlation between how much a house costs and what it would rent for.
And less so based on its net income.
That's right.
Which spells a lot of opportunity for investors.
Okay.
Who know where to look. So, call us.
Call us, yeah. We'd be happy to share this list with you and take you around and help you work through your investment strategy and make sure that it aligns with some of the opportunities to have those fat cats in East Portland subsidize your rental property. God, is that a mouthful?
I'm not sure those so-called fat cats would agree with you, but okay, there you are.
All right, so this has been another episode of Phil and Bob Raise the Roof. Again, I'm Bob Broad, and this is...
And I'm Phil Wax.
You can find out more on our website, portlandhometeam.com, blog, and again, as always, our contact information is here. We'd love to chat with you in more detail.
Next time.
Bye.